This is me and my children. I will not pick a favorite, but in a general sense, these are all the things that I would repurchase after they're empty. Hi everyone, I'm Joanna. Today we're going to talk about some of my favorite products that I always empty and repurchase. So here's my lineup here. I could have gone way overboard with this and done literally 30 products, but I've decided to pick like my top few. So we're going to talk about these products and why I love them so much, because I try a lot of things. So the fact that I repurchase these products really says a lot. At this point, if you haven't seen any of my other videos, actually, I don't think I've ever explained it. You might be wondering where I've come from. So I started my career in beauty about 8 years ago, and I worked for various plastic and cosmetic surgeons. So I was always in the beauty industry. And then 5 years ago, no, it was about 4.5 years ago, I landed here at Adore Beauty. So since then, I have had the pleasure of trying a lot of different things. I am a bougie bitch. I'm just gonna preface this video with that. I could have put some affordable products in here, but they're not the ones that I genuinely empty and repurchase all the time. So these are the products that I genuinely personally love and use and recommend to my own friends and family. So you're getting exactly the same treatment today, but I apologize in advance that they are expensive. So let's start with Aspects Phytostat 9. So this is by far my favorite moisturizer. It's best for dry to dehydrated skins, but pretty much anyone can use it. I've recommended it to that many people and no one has come back to me yet saying that they don't like it. So I'm assuming that it's working well for everybody. I do also really like the Kiehl's Ultra Facial Cream. I've gone through a number of containers of that, but the thing I love about this moisturizer is that it's got the airless pump. So it keeps the product nice and fresh inside, and it's got some really good ingredients in it as well. I know everyone in the office uses it. I don't know if that's because I've forced everyone to buy it.
Probably.
So it's packed with antioxidants and hydrating barrier supporting lipids like olive leaf extract and ginkgo biloba, as well as shea butter, sunflower seed oil, and macadamia oil. So that is my favorite moisturizer. I think it's about $92, which isn't too bad for a really high quality cosmeceutical moisturizer, but this is by far one of my faves. If you have drier skin, you could go with the Super Moisturizing Complex or SMC in the Aspect range. That's also really, really nice. Next, we have one of my favorite hydrating serums, which is Cosmetic Surge. So this is a hyaluronic acid. I've also emptied, I think, 2 or 3 bottles of SkinCeuticals HA Intensifier, which I talked about in our hyaluronic acid video on Skincare Nerds. But I really, really love this serum because it's so lightweight. It goes into the skin really easily. It layers well with other products. The best thing about it is that it's not just a HA. It's got kiwi fruit water in it as well, which is really rich in vitamin C. And it's also got niacinamide, which we've also done a video on, but it also acts as a brightening serum as well at the same time because it's got the C and B in it too. I'm doing the next 3 as one product because they kind of come together as a trio of amazing skincare goodness that I just always recommend to people. I actually had these 3 serums in my own limited edition set last year. It's no longer available, sorry. I had to just mention it though because that's how much I love them. So it's the ASAP Radiance, the ASAP DNA, and the ASAP Super B. Let's just start with the Super B because this serum is what I recommend to anyone starting a cosmeceutical skincare routine or any skincare routine really. It's rich in niacinamide. It's also got hyaluronic acid in it as well. It's a really beautiful, soothing, repairing serum. It's hydrating and it's just beautiful on the skin. It gives you a brightening effect, plump, glowy, all those good things. You definitely need this serum. If you're going to buy anything out of all of these, buy this one. Then there's the Radiance, which is an AHA and BHA blend. I did mention this in our exfoliation video, which we'll also put a link to here. This is great for treating congestion and acne concerns, and it's just generally a great serum for keeping the skin bright and clear. These two I like to mix together because they're a really, really good duo together. And then there's DNA, which is a peptide serum. So this contains 19 different peptides, which help with cell regeneration, collagen production, and it also promotes healing from past damage as well. So this is an excellent anti-aging serum, I would say from anyone in their mid-20s or older. So to summarize that, we've got the B, which is great for brightening and hydrating, the DNA, which is great for anti-aging, that's also really hydrating as well, and then the Radiance for clarity and brightness as well, I would say, and congestion concerns. So these 3 work really well together in a routine. They're about $100 each. They're not the most expensive serums I've ever purchased, but they're certainly not in that below 50 kind of range. So the reason that I love ASAP so much, I'm just going to give you a little bit of backstory. The first clinic I ever worked in when I was 18 years old stocked ASAP. So that was the first brand I ever trained in, the first cosmeceutical range I was ever introduced to. So it really says a lot about the brand that 8 years later, I still love all of their products. I still use this cleanser. So this is going to be my next product I'm going to talk about. I've used this since 2012. And I have not found something else that I have loved as much as this. It removes makeup really well, but it doesn't disrupt sensitive skin. I've got relatively sensitive skin, and I find that cleansing is a step where you can really go wrong with drying out your skin. This is not one of those cleansers that's going to strip anything away. It is a gel texture, but it's soap free, and it's also got some really nice hydrating and antioxidant ingredients in it as well. In 2012, I'm pretty sure it was $49.95.
It's $42.90.
It's $42.90. What a bargain. That's the only product here under $50. That's my bargain product for everybody. Let's go on to one of my more recent discoveries. By recent, I mean probably in the last 12 months, and that is the SkinCeuticals Retexturing Activator. This was a shock. I did not expect to get the results that I got from this serum. Now, I do want to say this serum is something that you get really good results with if you've got a really well-rounded routine. I wouldn't expect to go from using a supermarket cleanser and a moisturizer and then introducing this and expecting miracles. But if you've got a really good routine and you introduce this, I think you're going to see amazing results just like I did. I've seen some really positive reviews on site for this one. So the really interesting thing about this serum is that it's both resurfacing and replenishing at the same time, but it gives you the effect of like a 20% glycolic treatment. So without being really harsh and disrupting the skin's barrier, it exfoliates and hydrates at the same time, and it really does smooth out any texture, and it just really refines the skin. So this actually has ingredients like urea, glycerin, and it's also got sulfonic acid, which works to gently exfoliate the skin without causing any irritation or sensitivity on the skin. So that is how it works. I think it's 120. Maddie's on price check. Price check on aisle 3.
It's 126.
Okay, I wasn't far off then, 126. I did warn you guys, I am bougie and I like expensive products. I like cosmeceutical ranges, but this is definitely worth giving a crack if you've got the cash to spend, or if you're just looking to, treat yourself one day. Now we have the newest edition. So this is the Murad Dark Circle Corrector. Technical name is Vita C Eyes Dark Circle Corrector. I have never come across any eye cream that actually does anything for dark circles. There are so many lifestyle factors that contribute to dark circles. I've always been really realistic with people about what you can achieve with a topical product when it comes to dark circles. Sometimes they can be hereditary, or they can be from, any other lifestyle factor. And a topical product generally isn't going to produce amazing results. That was until I discovered this, because from probably the 4th use of this, was like, holy shit, this is actually really doing something. So this I will continue to use. If you want to learn more about eye creams though, we had a guest on the podcast who kind of debunked the whole myth around eye creams and whether or not you actually need to use them. So that's worth listening to. But this is something that I will definitely keep using because it absolutely made a difference to my dark circles. And if you read the reviews on the product page, you'll see it has for other people as well. Last but not least, Maddie, you asked me if I'd put these in any specific order, but this is probably I'm saving the best till last year. This is the Osmosis Rescue Serum. It's the Epidermal Repair Serum. This is a fairly new brand to Adore Beauty, but I've got rosacea, which you would know if you've listened to the podcast because I talk about it all the time. This product is specifically designed for anyone with inflammatory skin concerns. So it is amazing for anyone with inflammatory acne, perioral dermatitis, rosacea, anything else inflammatory on the skin where you just can't get it to settle with any other products. This is the answer. Warning, it is $224. So don't get too attached yet if you're not willing to spend $224. But wow, this really made a difference for me in terms of inflammation and redness in my skin. And I will absolutely continue to buy this until it's ever discontinued, because it is definitely a must-have for anyone with redness and inflammation concerns. So the hero ingredient is trioxylane, which probably isn't going to make sense to anybody else, but it can also improve things like age spots and enlarged pores and general signs of aging as well. So it is an all-rounder serum, but definitely worth getting if you're struggling with rosacea, redness, inflammation concerns. Go and read the reviews for this one as well, because there's some really good ones on this too. I just pretty much look up reviews all day of the products I like just to see if other people like them too. But if you love any of these products, I would love to hear about it. And if you have any others that you think I should try or you think I should repurchase, I definitely want to know. So leave them in the comments below. I would definitely purchase all of these again. I've repurchased these probably 8 times in my life, I reckon. This one, I'm actually coming to the end of, and I'm spewing that I have to repurchase it. And I've got a staff discount. Surge I've already got a backup of in my drawer because I will not go like a couple of days without this. I've actually got a backup of this one as well. If I run out of this, I'm in panic mode. Also got a backup of this. So pretty much that's the kind of person I am. I'm always prepared for any situation. Some of these things, like, you can't tell that's gonna run out. So there comes a day when you pump it and you're like, oh my God, it's done. And my cleanser, of course, I'm gonna repurchase this. I buy this like every couple of months. So one thing I do wanna say, people always purchase this and they go, oh, the pump's broken. Like, the pump's not working. And I'm like, no, that's not how you use it. You tip it over and you squeeze it out. Maddie, thank you for asking, but no, I do not have any negatives about any of these, apart from the price, which I've already mentioned. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you didn't, please don't tell me, because I'd rather you just didn't say anything. I think you're a psychopath if you drink a glass of milk. Like, if you just go to the fridge and get a glass of full cream milk.
Sometimes it's refreshing.
No!
I hate it.
No! No. You know what I used to love though? Nesquik strawberry milk. And I would honestly, I'd deal with the diarrhea to have one of those, to be honest.